We have a lot of requests. We have a lot of requests that is coming from our partners on network monitoring solution. And also, we also going to give you some tips to how you relate with your partners as regards selling the solution. Why do they need Up Manager solution? We're going to relate that to you by the end of this webinar. And also, you can as well use your chatbot. So we would not want you to ask a question directly. You use your chatbot, send a chat, send any questions or any the things that you want clarification on. You can also send your questions using the chatbot. We'll be happy to answer all the questions. And just for you to know that this webinar is going to be for 3 days. And today we are focusing on Service Up Manager Plus. Tomorrow will be on Service Desk, while the day after tomorrow will be SIM Solution, which is Log 360. So thank you very much for joining this session. So I proceed. So you all know Twanta IT. Twanta IT is an IT servicing company and a fast-growing technology company. You know Twanta IT. And also, we are the sole distributor of ManageEngine solution in Nigeria. And we have been in this partnership relationship with ManageEngine for over 6 years. And when I mean over 6 years, I mean the partnership aspect. We started building the partners, right, over the last 6 years. And now we can see that we've actually seen a lot of growth in terms of the partnership aspects. So that's why we also want to intensify that effort, just to ensure that our partner are well equipped to be able to sell the solution.
Have you sent that into NI? He has seen it.
So sorry, you can kindly mute your mic. So Twanta IT, apart from being the sole distributor of ManageEngine solution in Nigeria, we also have some other solutions, other products that we sell. We have support staff all over the country. So we also sell a support solution where we also deploy our engineers into their client environment. And these engineers do more of like support, right? First level, second level support to the client. And should you have any requests that has to do with support, feel free to reach out to me. We can also handle any requests of such. So yes, we sell ManageEngine, we also sell support. And we have over 250 plus, it's currently over 400 right now, plus the engineer that have been deployed on the site right now. And we covers all 36 states in Nigeria. SLA is 99%, so you need not to worry about you having support, and we giving you an uptime services when it comes to support. We have over 24 clients, blue chip company that are currently enjoying our support solution, our support products, and 74% plus impression of the customers. This slide actually talks more on the products and clients and the services that we rendered. Most of these clients you've seen are currently using ManageEngine, either one of the solution or all the solutions. So apart from the fact that these guys have ManageEngine in-house, so they also have other products which they've not been using. For example, we have some of these clients that they bought just one ManageEngine solution. So we have other suite of solutions that you can as well sell to them. So for this webinar for today, as like I mentioned, we are going to focus on ITOM, IT Operation Network Monitoring Solution. So our focus is going to be on Up Managers and Up Manager Plus. So, and in delivering this presentation today, I have my colleague, he's a senior technical engineer, Ayomide Ajasa. He's going to take us through this presentation. Should you have any question, kindly use the short the chat box. We will not entertain a direct call, in this webinar. We prefer you using the chat box. We will be happy to answer all your questions. Thank you. Ayomide, please present.
Good morning, everyone. So, it's a good day. My name is Ayomide, Senior Technical Research Engineer.
I'm sorry, guys. Can't hear you.
Yes. Apologies for that. Please do confirm if I am audible now. You just use the chat box. You could just signify by either saying yes or one. If I'm audible at your end, is going to the chat and put in the numeric figure number 1. Just put 1 or 2. 1 means I'm audible, while 2 means I am not. Okay, so okay. Okay, so I guess I am good to go. So good morning once again. My name is Ayomide Ajasa, Senior Technical Research Engineer. We'll be taking you on the Up Manager Plus solution. The Up Manager Plus solution. So most of you would have heard about the solution before. Why most of it this is going to be your new experience about the solution. So hopefully by the end of this session, we'll make it more engaging by answering your questions. I'm looking forward to most of your questions. So let's move forward. Okay, so before diving into a solution, let me just say before purchasing a solution or even before downloading a solution from the internet, we all have our interests. We all have let me just say expectations to get what we need from a particular application, be it an on-premise or be it a cloud. But by the way, the App Manager Plus, it's an on-premise solution. So why should we go for the App Manager Plus, or why should we go for the App Manager solution itself? So it's an IT operations management solution. What it does is provides visibility in your environment. So going back to the example I give, everyone wants to know what's going on in their environment, every organization, every server admin, network admin, every CIO, every CTO, every technical engineer, system engineer support. They always want to know what's going on in your environment. They want to have full visibility. They want to know what's up, what's down, what's moving, what's giving fault, what is not giving fault, what's supposed to not work, what's supposed to work, and the likes of that. And one of the features why you should go for this solution, it helps you to handle your tasks efficiently. Imagine you're trying to check, oh, is my server down? Oh, I think that server is off. No, I think the server for the IT support is off. Why the ones for the file server is down? Going and checking this manual, it's pick up. It gives you, it consumes time. It decreases the productivity of the particular individual or the particular technician. So what this solution does, again, it helps you to automate this process 2 times faster or 10 times faster, rather, be it the case. Then it incorporates your IT operations under one umbrella. What does that mean? Meaning you don't need to click on this, click on that, do this, remote in, remote that. Everything is on the screen. We just one model you could go into and dive. Are you looking for bandwidth? Are you looking for availability? Are you looking for performance metrics, internal parameters? Are you looking to check for your configurations? Everything is in one dashboard or is in one centralized dashboard. You can also resolve your performance issues with advanced monitoring solutions, so which I talked on. So for example, now my device, my laptop, which I'm presenting for you, apart from just knowing that, okay, it is running fine, I also want to know, I don't want to experience some lagness, some frizziness, all those kinds of scenarios. So the App Manager Plus can get that delivered to you in one click of a button. And the last but not the least is stay ahead of network outages with intuitive fault management. So with this, you can identify the root cause of your devices. You can get reports, you can make forensic reports for your devices. You can be able to tell this is a trend at which my devices are being up perform audit, present to the management that, okay, this is what is going on in my network environment. And that's it. So, and why ManageEngine? So basically, ManageEngine, it's a suite of solution. Let me just put it like that. It's a suite of solution, or it's a, how do you call it, a brand, a group of individuals coming together to develop a product that can enhance productivity in an environment. So one of the solutions which they did, or one of the solutions, or their flag solutions, which I would say is the Up Manager Plus. So what it does is bringing IT solutions together and incorporating them into one centralized product. So let's move forward. So if we're talking about the Up Manager Plus, we're talking about a 6-in-1 product. So when I'm talking about the availability, I'm also talking about the performance metrics. I'm talking about bandwidth, I'm talking about configurations. I'm talking about firewall log analysis. I'm talking about application management, IP address management. So I'm talking about all of these, all products which can come as an add-on. Once you go for the Up Manager Plus, you can get all of them as a default, meaning you don't need to subscribe for an add-on. Of course, it's scalable, meaning you can remove what feature you don't need, what feature you need. So let me give an example now. So for a small environment, you might be looking for just availability and just bandwidth monitoring. So they don't need to go for the configuration. So with the Up Manager Plus, you can just select that module for your reference, depending on the kind of network architecture you're looking for. Why so for some enterprise environment, they want the whole thing, they want to know the application is up, they want to know why the application is lagging, they want to know the database, they want to know what queries run on the database, they want to know what configuration is being made on their network devices, they want to know what server is down, why is the server down, why they want to know why it is lagging. So they go for the full bundle product. Just depend on your architecture. The Up Manager Plus gives you the option to select what module you need. And with that, you can use to enhance your productivity, get reports, and the likes of that. So moving forward, what is Up Manager? It's a network server and visualization monitoring software tools that help SMEs, large enterprise service providers manage their data center and IT infrastructure efficiently and cost effectively. Cost effectively means you could purchase it. It's very, let me just say, it is affordable for you to purchase. So when it comes to efficiency, like I said, you have everything in one dashboard. As the device goes down, you get an alert for it in real time. You can also check for your availability monitoring. So we're looking for to monitor a particular link from a particular branch or particular device, server, printer, down to your printer, down to your hardware device. Basically, as far as that device has an IP address, the Up Manager Plus can onboard that device as far as it has an IP address. So this is the overview, which one of the current features you'll be getting when you purchase the solution: optimize bandwidth allocations, ensure high network updates quickly, spot problematic router and interface update, upgrade and replacement, know current traffic trends, plan future capacity. If you can remember, I talked about forensic reports. So these speak to those kinds of statements which I made earlier. Checking for configuration changes, checking for switch ports, checking for availability of your ports on your switches, which I'll be talking as I move forward. So just to keep this more engaging, and I'll be repeating some words. So this is because so you can easily say, okay, yes, you can add one to one, to give it to. So moving forward. Now the Up Manager comes in 3 editions. We have the Essential, Enterprise, and Large Enterprise. The Essential, the maximum limit of devices which you can get on it is 2,000 devices. And the amount of interface on those devices you can monitor is 10,000. Same applies for the enterprise, which you have 5,000 to 100,000 interface. And for the large enterprise, you have 50,000 devices and 100,000 interface. Now imagine trying to monitor devices in these categories. Even monitoring 2,000 with the native, monitoring 2,000 devices with the native method is very, very time consuming. So with the Up Manager Plus, you can get all of these instances, scan all of your put an IP address, scan all the devices in that particular IP address, and have all of them onboarded on the solution and start monitoring. So the solution is there for you to give you those instances like that, provide you those features like that. So you can have your network environment good in real time. So what is unique about the Op Manager? So we have this network and server monitoring, and we also have bandwidth analysis. We have configuration management, we have storage monitoring, we have IP address switch port management, and we have firewall load analysis. You can remember I mentioned this at the beginning. So I'll be touching each of these modules. I'll be breaking it down for you. I'll be giving you live scenarios, live examples. I'm giving you live examples of how you can benefit from this. So if you should ask me, Op Manager Plus, what is the difference? Op Manager and Op Manager Plus. Op Manager is just a product, or let me just say it's an IT operational product that monitors your availability and performance monitoring. So if so when I mean performance monitoring, I'm talking about internal parameters. If you can remember also, I made the example of my laptop. I can say, I want to know if my disk is full. I want to know if my RAM is almost full, almost being utilized rather. I want to know the number of cores running on the system for speed and the likes of that. So those are the major difference. The Plus comes with all other products in it, which you can see on the screen. Why the Op Manager Plus has the first circle object you can see in the front, the network and server monitoring. So depending on the kind of architecture, like I said earlier again, you can choose the model which you want. You can just choose for firewall analysis and the network server monitoring. You can leave bandwidth and the rest, or you can just choose bandwidth monitoring and the IP address switch port management. Just depending on the kind of architecture you want for your environment or what you are looking for, what you're trying to achieve, you can get that done with the product. So these are the internal features. We have the syslog monitoring, tape library management. You have the storage capacity forecast. We have the 1 hour TT monitoring. So we have the router monitoring, VoIP monitoring for voice over monitoring if you're looking. So these, let's just say, mostly for the law firms looking to monitor their voice over and internet usage, more broadcasting, conference room monitoring. So they want to ensure all of these are in good status. So we have all of these internal features there, which the product is ready to give you once you install and to implement. So we'll talk the first one, server monitoring. Now, when it comes to server monitoring, you want to monitor the internal parameters apart from just the availability, rather, excuse me. So you want to know if a particular server is down, physical server, virtual servers. You also want to know if a particular target device is, if it is up, also maybe like your switch, like your printers, like your Linux servers, and the likes of that. And mostly, you can also want to check for services. So if you can click on in services, so once you type in services and click enter, to list out some services there for you to for you to make use of, or you should check, okay, what services is needed for a particular application or for a particular action that needs to be executed. So with the solution, you can monitor those kinds of scenario. So I'll be showing you on the demo page, 1 minute. So this is the demo page. Once you have the solution in your environment ready to run, so this is the demo page. This is the GUI, the graphical user interface of the Op Manager Plus. So we're talking about server monitoring. So I'll be clicking on servers. Currently, one minute. While the page comes up, let me talk more on the server monitoring. So apart from just monitoring the services, you can also monitor the processors, you can monitor the software being installed on that particular target server, you can monitor the file integrity of the target server, but not to the point of monitoring, like not giving a difference regarding the aspects, just the basic of that particular file monitoring. So on the screen right here, you can see I have 46 devices. So with this, I can say, yes, I have 46 servers on my or in my environment. And part of them are Linux devices, part of them are Windows devices, Windows servers or Linux servers. I also have the Hyper-V, I have them in different categories. Also, I can see that out of these 43 servers which I have there, I have 2 domain controllers and I have 1 barcode scanner. I can also check regarding for vendors. So with this, I can see, yes, in my environment, I have 24 Microsoft products. I have 7 Linux products. I have 2 Linux products. Rather, I have 1 IBM. I have 1 Citrix system. I have 1 network associate. I have 2 VMwares. You can. So what it does, it gives you more visibility in the environment. It gives you, this is the amount of what you have. So that is where the aspect called the inventory comes in. You can only monitor what you know you have. You cannot, if you don't know you have this, there's no way you can monitor it. So I've experienced in environments at which we onboard some of their devices and they're like, hey, we have this. I don't know. So the manager plus can fetch all of your devices in a particular IP address. Remember, as I said earlier, as far as that device has an IP address, we can onboard that device on the Op Manager. So I'll be clicking on one of the servers. Okay, so the servers now you can see on the screen, it shows you the summary page. It shows you the device summary page. You can also see the internal parameters, the utilization, utilizations, how they are being utilized or how they are being consumed on that particular device. You can also find some custom fields. So with this, you can easily differentiate or you can categorize that, okay, this device is for this particular individual, particular department, serial numbers for those looking for more predefined audits. So moving forward to the next slide. So you also have the Hyper-V monitoring, which I mentioned earlier. You can monitor your Hyper-V, you can monitor your VMwares, you can monitor your cell monitoring. So this you can monitor for memory swap, disk read and write, you can monitor for disk read request, you can monitor for disk write request, you can monitor for scenarios like that. So that's for the Hyper-V monitoring. Then we have the network management. So we're talking about network management, we're talking about network devices, mostly your routers, your switches, your firewalls, like that. And with this, you might want to monitor for internal parameters like your buffer hits, like your disk cards, like your error disk cards, like your misses, your buffer hits misses, your drop packets. You want to monitor scenarios like that. I also want to monitor your interface. What interface is up? Usually, if you have a link sitting on the particular interface, you might need to monitor that particular scenario. Okay, this link is up, this link is down. So with your Manager Plus solution, you can get scenarios like this, you can get features like this, you can go in and identify, okay, this particular link is up, from Abuja to Lagos is up, from Lagos to Abuja is up, from Kaduna to Abuja is up. You can monitor scenarios like this. Yes. Yes, so moving forward, we have interface monitoring. So I'm a bit fast than this than the slide. Apologies for that. Then, so we have interface monitoring with this. You can also monitor the bandwidth being utilized by that particular interface. So we support all kinds of flows. So if you ask me what is the flow, so flow is packets passing through a particular devices. So it's a little bit different from bandwidth. So you can monitor your interface, you can monitor your bandwidth being consumed by that particular interface. You can check for your quality of services. You can use to regulate the bandwidth being consumed on a particular interface. You can check for your receiving and outgoing. So you have the TX and you have the RX transmitting and the received. So you can check for all instances like this. You can check for, and also you can generate reports for scenarios like this also. So you have all of this there, and you check by the right-hand side, you can see the summary status, you can see the admin status, you can see the open status, you can see the IP address, the interface name, the interface alignment. You can see all details which you need to check about the link or about the interface monitoring. So you have all of these scenarios there for you. Then back to bandwidth monitoring. So most environments would like to know the amount of bandwidth being consumed in their space or in their network space or network environment or in the organization as a whole. So they want to know what is the amount of bandwidth that is being consumed, and they also want to check for the time at which this bandwidth are being consumed. And one of the aspects or one of the more key features of what the solution does is you can easily analyze the bandwidth being coming from the ISP, meaning it's going to check for the value of the bandwidth. You can put in your baseline or your base price. So let me give you a real life, or let me give you a real scenario. Now, most of us do subscribe to Airtel, MTN, and they'll tell you you have consumed by. They'll tell you, okay, I'm moving on 20 MB by this, and that. And once you have consumed that MB, they'll now tell you, okay, 5 naira per clinical seconds or 5 naira per 2 MB seconds, like that. So same applies to your bandwidth monitoring. So with that, you can generate reports for your bandwidth, which is the billing report that comes in your bandwidth. You can also generate an alert for those bandwidths, meaning, let me just say, I want to ensure that if I've consumed 2 gig 3 times today, I want an alert being sent to my mailbox. Or if I'm integrating with Telegram, or I'm integrating with my Teams, or I'm integrating with, let's just say, what else again, like the web integration. So apart from that, if I consume this particular MB, please send me an alert. And what it helps, again, it helps to regulate bandwidth consumption. So with this, you can easily say, okay, Teams is the one consuming much bandwidth in my environment. Skype is the one consuming much bandwidth in my environment. Let me give a good example again. So in a particular office, you have some employees that work and some that don't work, some that do consume bandwidth through social media, and some that do consume bandwidth on more productive applications like Teams, like your mailbox applications and like that. So with that, you can regulate those kinds of bandwidth scenarios. You can easily map an application to a particular interface which can consume those bandwidths and generate reports. So moving forward, we have the firewall log analysis. So the firewall log analysis. Okay, so 1 minute.
Okay, so just to add to a little to what my colleague just mentioned, for the bandwidth monitoring, as a partner, you are reselling this product. So what are you going to tell your client? Just for you to let you know that you can as well tell them that imagine you getting maybe you pay for maybe a speed of 20 Mbps, and right, that is what you pay your ISP. But eventually, the speed you're getting from them is 15 Mbps, right? And you already had an SLA with them. So with the help of this solution, you should be able to know what bandwidth you are getting from the ISP and what you are using, right? So at the end of the day, you can also manage costs with this solution, because when you notice that you are subscribing for 20 Mbps and you're being given 15 Mbps, it also implies that you're not what you're paying for, you're not using it. And also, he mentioned about, sometimes you have some of the team in there, your staff working, watching social media while in the working hours, and you want to manage this. So with this, you can actually streamline this your employee to the point whereby you can monitor what amount of data they used in a particular period of time. And you can also caution them with this. And also, if you feel the need for you to reduce your bandwidth, so in this case, you are also telling your client that you can save costs getting a net flow analyzer that monitor bandwidth. When you feel that the bandwidth you're actually paying for is not being used, so you're actually paying for a bandwidth and you're not using it. So why paying for it? So with this solution, by the time you deploy the solution in your environment, it helps you know the total amount of bandwidth being consumed in a particular month, and the number of people that are using this bandwidth, and the highest users, where and what site they are actually visiting. So you can, with this, curb the site they are visiting and also reduce costs. So these are the things that you tell the head of IT or the head of infrastructure, network infrastructure, as in the benefit of getting this solution. Let me just put it to you that Op Manager Plus is a 5-in-1 solution, as I mentioned. And this 5-in-1 solution can be bought as a standalone. You can buy the network NetFlow Analyzer as a standalone. You can also get Firewall Analyzer as a standalone. Also, the Op Manager, like I mentioned, as a standalone. Why the IP address monitoring tool, you can get that as a standalone too.
Okay, so and one more to that, you can also check for, it has a graphical representation of all of this, which is said on the UI. So you can see it, you subscribe for 20 Mbps and your package goes up to 10 and it drops. So with that, you can know that, yes, I paid for 20 Mbps, but what I can see on my screen, it only gets to 10 Mbps and the package keeps dropping. So if you can escalate to the highest speed. So, yes. So moving forward, we have the firewall log monitoring. So we all know the firewall is there, is the first line defender. So some will ask me, why should I get a firewall log monitoring? I have a firewall there. So one of the instances which we might want to reach out is that having a firewall there is not going to give you, let me just say, up to 100% is not guaranteed. But with the firewall log monitoring, you can analyze all activity ongoing on the firewall. Let me give a live scenario. Let's just say you're about to install an application in your environment. I'm going to require some ports that needs to be opened for communication from the application to your target environment, to your target department. And you have installed the applications, you've opened the port, you've assigned the port, you've done some rules, opened some objects, removed some objects. Now, you might want to, let's just say in reference, in the next 2 months, you decide not to use the application anymore. You are forgetting that that port is being opened. With the firewall log analysis, you can monitor scenarios like that. It will bring those kinds of reports up for you that this particular port is not being used, it is open. It will also tell you the impact of the particular rule which you have created on this firewall. Let's just say you need to create a rule to open a particular specific script or specific file. The file log analysis, it's going to generate an impact, it's going to analyze that impact of that particular rule on your firewall. And what it does again is means to automate for compliance, to check if all your activity or the configuration which you have configured on the firewall is being in compliance with its vendor, be it a FortiGate, be it a Cisco, Sophos, Aruba, and the likes of that. You can also manage policies on the firewall. So if there's a need for you to enhance any policy on your firewall, yes, the solution is there for you to track those changes and tell you, okay, you need to do this, enhance this policy. You need to remove this rule to a particular index number, maybe from 10 to 1, to get more productivity on the firewall. So moving forward, we have the configuration management. So what this does again, please don't forget, you can get this solution as a standalone. You can also get it as a default with the Op Manager Plus bundle. So with the configuration management, what it does mainly is to monitor configurations on your network devices. The network devices like your router, like your switches, the likes of your firewall. So with this, you can automate backup on your configurations. You can also monitor change management. You can check for compliance monitoring also. And you can also execute some task automation. Then lastly, it generates reports for that. So let me give you a good example. Now you have an employee in the environment, and the employee decides to leave the environment, but he or she still has access to that particular target device. Now they can make a connection from wherever location which they have, because they do have the credentials and the VPN and the likes of that to connect to a particular switch. Now with the NCM, the way we can detect that is with the NCM, it should once you onboard that device, it will monitor configurations done on that particular device. Now, if that particular individual should go in and make any changes, with the NCM, you can enable change detection. It's just a click of a button. Once that change is being made, number one, to mark it as unauthorized, meaning a particular activity has been executed on that device, either physically or by remote. Now, all it does again is going to back up that configuration done before. It's going to back up the initial configuration done before the current one. So it's not left for the engineer, once it has alerted that, okay, see, this is what has undergone on this particular device. This configuration has been taking place. So it's left for the engineer should go in and see what is being configured on the device, compare the configurations. So if it is a known engineer, if it is a known issue, maybe the IT guy is on field, or maybe he's on leave and he needs to quickly due to emergency cases. So that can be marked as an approved, or if it is not on unapproved or non-recognized activity, what you need to do is to change the device credentials, change the communication protocols or the likes of that, and get your work done and get it safe in terms of vulnerabilities. And speaking of vulnerabilities, the NCM can also scan for firmware vulnerabilities, and with this, once that scans for a firmware vulnerability, it's going to provide you an additional page for you to download the patch, which you can use to rectify that vulnerabilities on that particular device. And last but not the least is one of my favorite, which is the startup and running configuration. So if you take the right-hand side, the bottom left, you have the added, modified, deleted. So with the NCM, you can provide the IT guys, the network admins, system admins, that they can compare their configurations. They can say, okay, this was the configuration I made at this particular version, or this was the configuration I made at this particular version. So they can compare. So in case of there is an error, or in case they need to revert back to the previous configurations, the NCM is there to provide all scenarios like that at one click of a button. And that is it for the network management configuration. So moving forward, we have the IP address management. So what it does is to scan your IP address in your particular environment through by subnet, or so it supports both the IPv4 and the IPv6. So with this IP address management, which is the operations, you can get it as a standalone, yes. So with this, you can monitor what IP address is available, what IP address is being used in a particular subnet, or so when I mean subnet, I mean a range of IP address in a particular, let's say in a particular numeric range. So we have from 1 to 254 and the likes of that. So with this, you can scan for which IP address is available, which IP address is being used, which one is being on transit. So when I mean transit again, I mean an IP address being moving from one point to another. So with this, you can say, okay, 192.168.222.1 is being available, so you can assign to this particular device. Okay, .2 is not available. You can check for all scenarios like that. So that's it for IP address management. So we have the switch port management. You can also get this under the operators that comes with the IP address management. So we use the particular IT technician or particular engineer in that environment can easily identify what port is being available on that particular device, what port is being on transit also. So with this, you can check what this port is being available, which is maybe the port is going to be, might be a very critical port which needs to be monitored. So you have all of these scenarios there. You can gain visibility into your IP, your MAC, your VLAN status, the availability of ports. You can also receive real-time notification changes in each of these ports. You can know all MAC address connected to a port. You know, a MAC address are physical device attached to logical physical addresses attached to a particular endpoint, either your laptop or your servers, virtual servers like that. So you know what MAC address is being connected to that particular port. So it gives you scenarios like that. It gets you reports like that. You can easily identify, okay, this is this, and that. Moving forward, we have storage management. This comes with the Op Manager. So with this, you can monitor your storage devices, which supports we support tape, we support the FC switch, we support your RAID library, so you can monitor the capacity of the storage devices. You can also generate a forensic report on how the space are being consumed over a period of time, over a time frame, maybe for this month, maybe for last month. You can also check the availability of those storage devices. So you have the fabric switch, which is the FC switch management. You can discover fabric switches in your SAN environment. You can generate alarm when there's a change in any of those particular switches also. So the storage device, with this solution, you can easily get all information which you need on the particular storage devices, number of drives you can get in that particular storage devices, total amount of storage space. You can also get for the config capacity and the used capacity, which you can see on the screen. So you can see for this particular storage device, either an IBM or either if your storage device is a Windows server, which in most cases some clients might use. So you can have all of these instances there for you, available for you, either as a report or being generated as a notification to your particular mailbox or an application, third-party applications if you have them integrated with the solution. Moving forward, we have the fault management. So what I mean by fault management is my server is down, for example. My server is down. Why? What way the server should go down? Why? My bandwidth is being, I'm experiencing some drop in bandwidth. I'm experiencing some freeze in bandwidth. Why? Why? You can't just tell me they are down. You can't just tell me my configuration has been changed. So we have the alarms and notification. Now, the Op Manager Plus is so smart enough to categorize all of these activities in different color codes. You have the critical, you have the trouble, you have the services, you have the attention in different color codes. So with this, it also has the dashboard for the heat map, which I will mention. So this gives you a summary of your activities on all your devices in different color codes. So when you see already, you know that, yes, there's something you need to really check in on this particular device. Is a critical threshold has been violated, or an interface is down, or this particular device is down. So the alarm section is there to generate all events like that for you or for that particular environment, either by email, either by SMS, either by third-party applications, and the likes of that. And with this, you can also, so let me just give an instance also again. In some cases, mostly, let me just say in a more tight environment. So let me just give an example, like a bank environment now. So they might be experiencing some known issues. So with the Op Manager Plus, you can also guarantee the clients that if there are known issues, you can just approve the alert. I mean, if it comes up that this particular device storage gets full in time, you can simply just approve that particular alert. So with this, you can reduce the number of alerts. You don't need to worry about any redundancy when it comes to alerts. Then we have profile notification. So profile notification, you can easily generate profile for a particular alert. So I can see server profile, I can see switch profile, I can see report profile, I can see all kinds of those given depending on my kind of architecture. So once this particular activity has been violated, the profile comes in. So this I can just narrow down easily. So once I receive that kind of scenarios on my mailbox, I can say, hey, this particular server is giving me issue again, and it's giving me that the RAM is being overutilized. I think we need to increase this particular RAM on this particular server so we can make sure that we don't experience any lagging, any freeze, or any sudden turn off of that particular device. So with this notification profile, you can simply categorize what alerts. You can assign it a name for more drill down analysis. So that's it for the notification profiles. Now we have the multi-level thresholds. So what are thresholds? Thresholds are, let me just say, are more executables, which you can configure on a particular target machine, be it a server, be it a Linux server, be it a physical server. be it your bare metal, be it your switch, your firewall, can configure threshold. So let me give another example again. So I can say, let me give based on bandwidth. If I have consumed 20 gig today, send me an attention alert. Or no, send me a trouble alert. But if I have consumed less than 20 gig today, also what? Send me an attention alert. I don't know if you get that picture. Let me give you a more good scenario for bandwidth. Or let me just use a laptop now. If my disk space should reach 90%, send me a critical alert. If my disk space should reach 75%, send me an attention. If it should reach trouble, send me 80. So these are more in should I just say ascending order or descending order? So once it has reached 75% and has given me that alert that an attention and see this particular device that consumes 75%, if I should ignore that alert and the threshold reaches to 80% or 85%, it will give me a trouble that you have ignored the first alert, or you need to come and check now. Is it has already consumed up to 80%? So same applies to your bandwidth, same applies for your configurations also. So with this, you can easily escalate for ignored alarms. You can easily escalate for ignored alarms. So, and that is it for multi-level thresholds. Now, moving forward, we have the workflow automation. So workflow is basically a sequence of tasks or process it to execute a particular sequence. You can put in your if or if not conditions, your and or and not conditions. So for example, now as you can see on the screen, I can say if this particular server should not come on, send an alert. If it should come on in the next 5 minutes, don't send an alert. If it should come on in the next 5 minutes, but the memory utilization is being consumed up to 90%, generate a ticket, assign to a particular engineer, wait for the ticket to get resolved, mark it as cleared. So it's the workflow creates a more predefined automation. So you have all of those instances there like that for you. You don't need to worry about, oh, I need to configure this, and that. You can just set a once predefined workflow. Do this, take this step, take step 1, take step 2, configure this, and mark it as clear once it's resolved. If it's not resolved, escalate to an upper email address. So you have all of these instances there. So moving forward again, we have the traps and 6 logs. The traps are like your alerts. So and they are majorly for network devices. So let me give an example for you now. In an environment, let me just say in an IT environment, or let me just give an accounting environment. Now they make use of printers. They make use of all these hardware devices, all these network hardware devices like printers. And they don't want to, instead of them waiting for the solution to tell them that, oh, do you have a paper jam? The SNMP trap can easily tell you scenarios like that in real time. Instead of them waiting for the solution to pull out those metrics, because you can set time frame for the solution to pull out those metrics, the SNMP trap is there to get all of those instances in real time. So once you encounter a paper jam, it pulls up, sends an alert that paper jam is particular device, a particular printer. And if you have defined it very, very comprehensive on the Up Manager Plus, you can even attach the department, accounting department, HR department. You can easily call them and say, oh, I've seen a particular alert which says you have a paper jam on this device, so you need to check in on that. Or if the toner is down, you need to quickly refill the toner and the likes of that. So that's majorly what traps does. So when it comes to 6 logs, so these are logs created from the device itself. You can, for an IT environment, they want to monitor events occurring on their device. And they want to ensure that it meets up some particular rules. So with these traps and 6 logs, you can get those instances like that, send an alert on instances like that for you, and more of that. So moving forward, we have tools. So apart from just troubleshooting on the I'm just troubleshooting physically. On the Up Manager Plus, you can also troubleshoot. So we have the WMI query, SNMP ping, proxy ping, can easily identify the root cause. So this is going back to the root cause analysis. So the tools is there for you to get scenarios like that. You can easily identify why the reason why this particular device is not reachable either by remote procedure call, meaning you're trying to remote into a particular device remotely. So you can do all of those instances. We have tools like that. Then lastly, of course, for every activity, for every if you are having stock in a particular topic, you can always, there's a group discussion, yes, you can always reach out to us by either social media collaborations, by either by LinkedIn, by Facebook, or you can reach out to the website directly, just based on that. And we are very much happy to answer the question. And there's a need for us to intervene immediately. We can hop on a quick session and get it resolved, once and for all, so you can make use of your solution without experiencing any cost. So we're talking about visualizations, which is the fourth slide. Visualization is talking about your devices in a more graphical aspect. So with this, you can easily identify your devices on the GUI. You can create a customized dashboard. Meaning you can, let me just give an example for bandwidth. You want to know how your traffic has been consumed. You want to see the traffic patterns. You want to see how it's going up, how you're experiencing some spikes. I don't know if you know about this normal scenario. They say during the daytime, you have high spikes. Why during times like night? That is why our bandwidths are more faster as during midnight. I don't know if you get that moment. During the daytime, to be slow, to be, but during times like midnight, the bandwidths are always fast. The internet it works like at a very high peak. So with the dashboard, you can have a more generated, visualized graphics regarding the bandwidth. As the spikes, as you're seeing spikes, it goes up. You are seeing drop in packets. You are seeing all those kind of scenarios. You can have one particular dashboard for that. And you can also have a dedicated screen. So if you have a touch screen, maybe a monitor or your TV, you can just quickly put that dashboard on that particular screen. That is where you have the knock view. The knock view fetches the information for every 60 seconds. With that, you can see all activity in real time. Or you can also increase the time limit or the time frame for every 30 seconds. So if it goes down, you see it on the screen, hey, this server is down. You can just quickly go in and rectify the solution. So we're talking about business view graphically now. So let me just give a live example. I can see from Tranta here, I can monitor my device on the other branch at Abuja. So I can monitor other branches at Abuja. I can see this server at Abuja is up. This server at Lagos is up, or this particular network device, or maybe a particular firewall is up and running, and this is the speed at which the bandwidth have been consumed at the particular link, maybe from Lagos to Abuja, or maybe from Oshodi to VI. So I can monitor this kind of scenario. I can upload an image showing my topology of my environment. So I can see on the screen this is for United States. So I can upload my own customized topology, and I can put my device on each of that location. So I can put one at Abuja, I can put one at Kaduna, I can put two at Lagos. And I can also upload a map again, or an image showing my network topology of my in-house communication, or my in-house network environment. So I can put my devices, place them in all separate modules or separate pinpoints, and monitor those kind of scenarios. Then we can easily integrate with third-party apps like Google. We can also integrate with other party apps like Zero, and we can check for the two maps. So these are your network devices, how your network are being connected in a particular environment. You can check for the seed, you can check for the cores, dependencies, parent dependencies. You can have all of those instances like that on the GUI. Same applies for data bridge center or data center builder. With this, you can easily identify your devices, how they are being placed in each rack, or mostly for network devices. So you can see on the screen, you can see that Up Manager here with this serial number is at the index at about 3. You can see Cisco router at 7. You can see, so you can easily identify. Instead of you going there physically, you can easily, like, you can pinpoint it on the GUI. Then you can perform your own root cause analysis and then find the issue. Now, report. For every activity, there's a report for that. For every activity, down to the audit, down to audit activities on the Op Manager itself, there's a report for that. Report for availability, report for trends, report for alarm trends, report for interface, report for uplinks, report for one link monitoring. So there are reports for that. So there are many reports which you can get or are trying to look for. Even the audit. So with this, you can present to the management, or the client can present to the management that's looking to see, these are the reports for today. So this is what is up, this is what is down, this is what is being consumed. And this is the activity that is happening on the Op Manager itself. So you can have all of those reports either by Excel or by PDF. So you have all of those instances there for you. And lastly, you can schedule your report. You can also create your own customized reports. That is if you're not going with the predefined ones that comes with the solution. So other highlights, we have the Enterprise Edition. So these Enterprise Edition are more recommended for environments in large scales, environments that has up to like 10 devices, like the banks, like the operational, the manufacturers having different branches in different geographical locations, big 10 locations, either Nigeria to Ghana, either Nigeria to United States, or either by Kaduna to Lagos. So they want to have, so the Enterprise Edition is the best fit for scenarios like that. And the way we can achieve all you can see on the screen is you can deploy probe servers on those locations and have one central server. So that can be the headquarters. So with that, we can pull out information from all geographical pinpoints and get the availability of their devices, bandwidth, configurations, firewall logs, performance metrics, like that in one click. So with this, you can monitor different places. And it is scalable. Yes, you can increase, you can also decrease. And Op Manager Plus has the option for failover, meaning you can have a standby secondary server. So for in any case, the primary server goes down, the secondary server will just take place. So you don't need to worry about the solution having a downtime itself because you have placed a failover feature on this solution. So that's it for the failover. Then mobile apps. Mobile apps are very essential. Even me myself, I have them by for the Op Manager Plus, so I can just check for my activities on my network by downloading the mobile app. It's there on the Apple Store and it's there on the iOS, provided the client has the communication from the environment to the particular Op Manager application. Like you need to put in your configurations there. So with this, you can easily monitor all of these instances on your mobile, either you're working from home or you're in the environment itself. Just connect to the VPN from home or connect to the network directly in the environment and monitor all of this. So you don't need to go into the UI or log into the server. Just check your mobile phone and say, okay, yes, this is 1.5 and likes of that. So talking about other benefits, so we have benefits like the add-ons, which comes as a default, and you can get it as a standalone, the NCM, which I've talked on, the network analyzer for bandwidth monitoring, and the applications manager and the service desk if you need to assign tickets for any alerts and assign to a particular engineer. So you have those benefits for that. So I believe it's for
All right, thank you very much. Is a 5-in-1 solution, and it can be bought as a standalone depending on the client request. And when you're speaking to your client or the head of IT or the head of network, they can access You can also access their website. So they don't want their website to go down. So these are the things that could make a website go down when the network devices, the Cisco's, the routers, and within the environment are down. It could affect the network around that the client environment. So these are the things that you tell your client, and it makes them to be effective. If all these things happen and it takes 2 days, 3 days, the head of IT could be sacked because he's not being proactive. So with this solution, it makes you to be proactive. And as we mentioned earlier, you can integrate it with service text, right? Once there's a alert, once there's an alert that a particular server is down or network device is down, it triggers a ticket that will be sent to the technicians that would go and fix that. So with that, you'll be very, very much proactive in terms of your network environment. So that's just what this solution does. So I will just take us run through what we as Downtime IT has been doing that has made us exceptional in the market, and the process we've gone through in terms of engaging our client. I'll just take us through this, and I believe that some of us are familiar with this. Okay, so thank you very much. So this is what we do. We ensure that we engage the client in process. We don't just start by just pitching the solution. We reach out to the client, ask questions. What are those questions you ask your client? How do you manage your network in your environment? What happens if your network goes down? There are some clients that would not want their network to go down. And if it does, it's going to affect the business of the day. And as far as that is happening, it's going to affect the revenue that will be generated for that day. And if it persists, it could affect those people that are managing the network. So as a head of IT, you want to be proactive. You want to ensure that things are done in the right way. And you mentioned something as regards to compliance too. So there are also other compliance that you need to look out to when you are getting this solution. So it's important that you have to follow this compliance too. It's very, very important. I made mention about the boundary monitoring too. You ask questions. How do you manage your boundary? How are you so sure that this boundary that has been given to you by by your vendor or the ISP company that you are subscribing to is the actual boundary you have subscribed to? So you need to know this. You need to know what the lapses, what is the differences in terms of the bandwidth you've subscribed for and the bandwidth you're using. You want to know in terms of configuration management, you want to know how this configuration has been backed up, right? And should there's an issue, or should you want to make reference to the configuration that has been done in your network environment. So you need not to start all over and start looking out for the configuration that was done in other network device. Because you have a backup already, you can refer to the backup. It says something about failover. Failover service is very key, especially in the banking environment where things could happen. Then you just have to start looking at being redundant. But with this failover service, once the primary server is done, you have where you can fall back to at any time. So it's very important to look at all this. Once this have been discussed, then you put all this in proposals. We have a generic proposals, a ready-made proposal on network monitoring solution. Should you need any of this solution, please reach out to me. I'm going to share with you. Once you send a proposal to a client, the client will definitely want a demo. Every of the ManageEngine solution has a demo page through which the client can be take to see how this solution work and the functionality of this solution. So we are open to do that. Once you have this kind of engagement as a partner, we expect you to go to our registration link to register this deal. This is for us to ensure that we are working in partnership, because if you don't register your deals, that implies that if someone else is working in that environment and comes to me, I might not be able to have the visibility of what you have done in that environment. So that's why I always encourage our partners to ensure that every of their deals are registered before engagement with the client. So once your deals have been registered, be rest assured that you are secured, and your opportunity is secured. So once your deal is registered, the next you do is to send a questionnaire more like getting the quotation. So we have a ready-made questionnaire for all the solutions, right? Yeah, most times we find it as more of the requests we get from our partners. Most of us might not know how to scope this solution. So you don't need to be perfect for you to sell this solution. All you just need to do, just reach out to me, request for a questionnaire. A questionnaire is more like a scoping sheet. With that, you can be able to scope what the client's request is or what their requests are. You can also do that by reaching out to me. We have that already, and you schedule a POC. A POC, we have 30 days free POC on each of these solutions. So you need not to worry about if the client is going to be at a cost. It's not at a cost. A free POC, 30 days, and we have the opportunity of having this solution live in the client environment. And after we want the client to make decision and look through the POC. Another thing I also observe is that while the POC is ongoing, it's important you as a partner, you reach out to the client and ensure that you have discussion with them as regards the POC that is ongoing to know if this solution has been able to meet their requirements or it has resolved their complaint as the case may be. And once that is done, we will get a PO and we commence deployment. And immediately we start deployment, we ensure that we don't just stop there. I mentioned that the Op Manager solution can be integrated with service desks, right? You can integrate with the service desk. So there's opportunity for you to cross-sell, upsell, and also move, get a referral from this client to other clients. So as a partner, you are not expected to just sell a single solution to a client. You're expected to cross-sell the solution, upsell the solution. For example, if the client bought a network monitoring solution for, say, 50 devices, it can also scale up to 100 devices. It can scale up to 150 devices. You can also upsell and cross-sell other solutions, integrate it with Service Desk Plus. You can also integrate this solution with Analytic Plus, a reporting tool that ManageEngine has. With this, you can be able to get a business view of the solution at ease in a single console. You get a business view that more like the executive will want to see. So as an IT head, it's important that you be in touch in terms of reporting, because every IT head wants to get a report on what is happening in their environment. So with this Op Manager Plus and the reporting aspect of it, you don't need to worry yourself on what is happening in your environment, because the report can be spooled out at a single console. You can fill out the report and get all what has been done in the environment, in your network environment within the space of time. So that is what made us outstanding in the last few years. We ensure that all these due processes are actually done, because one, you can as well sell a solution and the client find it difficult to use the solution because you have not done the due diligence in terms of trying to know what their pains are and what their challenges are before you sell the solution. So it's important that you follow through this process in engaging your client. So just to let you know, we have some resources available that might be helpful to you, right, to engage your client. We have the solution book, we have data sheet, flyers, brochure that speaks to ManageEngine solution. We have demo links, we have overview videos, proposal samples. So as a partner, you need not to worry about what you need to engage your client. All you just need to do is reach out to me, get all these things down to you. You can engage your client with all these materials that we have here. And we can also as well enter the environment with you, ensure that this demo is done, and ensure that the requests of your client are actually met. So thank you very much. So we're going to dive into the next session, which is the Q&A. So we're going to look through the Q&A. All right. So we're going to look through the Q&A and see those questions. We'll be happy to treat each of the questions. Okay, so I'm going to take it based on how these questions are being asked. Let me see. I'm going through this myself, and AY will be the one handling this in session. So we also have Valentine on the standby. So he said, how do you monitor? This is coming from Mr. Michael. Michael said, how do you monitor what staff are doing via URL?
Okay, so how do we monitor what staffs are monitoring BI URL? So question is not directly specific, but I will just yes, you can generate a report for the amount. Let me just see the destinations at which your bandwidth are heading to. You can also generate a source. So you can generate a report for top bandwidth consumed by each user or by particular user or for a particular week. And you can have your users listed underneath that topic. Top bandwidth consumed for this week, top bandwidth consumed for next week. So if you are looking for what they are doing, like maybe like you want to see what they are doing on the page, maybe like click and likes of that. No, the solution does not show you what they are doing if they are clicking on an icon on the likes of that, but it will tell you that this particular user has been consuming the bandwidth for this period of time. It will also tell you that this device has consumed bandwidth for this period of time, and you can generate reports like that. So for any reason, there's a need for the client to generate reports based on bandwidth being consumed on their environment. The solution can give a report like that for you based on users and based on the devices itself. That's for the first question.
Okay, so I would like to add to that because I know we once used this solution and we're still using it in-house. And there are times where when we have to do like a reporting in terms of, we had challenge where we find out that our network is very slow. So I remember the CTO have to give an instruction to us to spool out report as regards who and who, what they are doing in the office within the hour of say 8 to 4. We want to see what these guys are doing, who is using the highest bandwidth. So this actually was done in-house, and we're able to scope the issue of slow network. And we actually now knew that, okay, fine, we need to scale up our bandwidth. So this is very important. So when you are talking to your clients, you need to let them know that the importance of this solution is not just you getting it. It does bandwidth monitoring. It also try to make you be proactive in terms of when you need to increase your bandwidth, if you're going to reduce the bandwidth that you purchase. Let's go to the next question. I don't know if I'm missing. David, do you have these questions? Okay. Can we have this document for more information? Yes, we're going to share this with other informations that you need. We're going to send it to all the participants of this webinar. Can a customer integrate Op Manager Plus with an internal service tool? Yes, I know we can integrate Op Manager Plus with a Service Desk Plus solution, but he's actually mentioned, he said, if it can be integrated with an internal service desk tool. I understand that Op Manager Plus has an API which can be used to integrate. I don't know if Taiwo wants to speak to that.
Yes, correct. Yes, correct. So we do support service now. So I wish you could mention the service we want to integrate with Op Manager, but yes, we can always take the application and speak with the developers before we're done. So if you can provide us the necessary information, yes, we can always get back to you regarding third-party applications. Like a few more questions saying what compliance policy are available for a while to have a device on the NCM model with Up Manager Plus. So currently for now, we don't have a default compliance for Huawei, but we do have for Cisco. But what we can do for you is we can generate a custom compliance for you. So we can ensure that they match up with the requirements and set it up on the NCM and ensuring that your data are very in compliance with its vendor code. So we can do all of that for you. So that's for that question. And the next one is, can backup be automated? Yes. Backup can be automated. Backup can be scheduled. Yes. And it's always the backup summary. So for every backup that is being taken, yes, this is very possible. Very possible on the product. Then that's it. What does rare threshold means? Apologies, let me get the question now. Okay, so yes, what does rare value? So for thresholds, we do have the attention, trouble, critical, and real value. So the real value is the initial value before it gets to the attention value. So let me give an example. You have 75, 85, 90. So your real value should be any value below the 75. 75 will not act as a baseline. So you can either give it 74, you can give it 70, you can give it 60. So the real value should be lower than the baseline value, which is the attention value. So that's it for the real value. So, and any other questions? Questions.
Hello, please confirm if you can hear me. Yes, there's a question here stating, can we get this document for more and better understanding to enable the clientele for professional sales?
Yes, the documents we provided for you after the webinar. Yes, you can get it.
Okay, so we are open to more questions. We just have like a few minutes to end this webinar, and we can also entertain a few questions if there are any. But while we wait for that to come in, I just want AY to do a recap of what has been said so far as regards service, the Up Manager Plus. Okay, we have one question here. The service desk tools that we are talking about is Jira or Fresh Service. That's the one you want to integrate with.
Hello.
Yes, so thank you for providing that information. We can always get back to you, sir. I will make sure to check if it is possible. It's mostly, at most cases, very, very possible. So just get back to you based on the integration with the third party.
Yeah, so let me come in there. Yeah, you can integrate with Jira. So for Fresh Dex, you can confirm that. But with Jira is currently available on solution. Integration of Service Dex with Jira.
All right, thank you very much, Valentine, for that.
Yes.
So we also want to entertain more questions. Please do ask questions. You can just drop it on the chat box. We'll be happy to answer. So we have access to the recording version. Yes, you're going to have access to this recording. We're going to share that with you. So long you join this session, you're going to have the recording of this session and also other material that you might also want to go through, just for you to have good understanding of the solution. Like I said, we just want to do a recap of what we've done so far. So AY was just going to take us through a recap of the presentation done, Up Manager Plus, the licensing, and the rest.
Hello.
Yes, so thank you guys for joining. We talked about the field of Up Manager and IT operations management solution. We also talked about the Up Manager Plus that comes in bundle with other additional add-ons such as the firewalls, such as the network configurations, network analyzer for bandwidth monitoring, application manager for monitoring application of database, which we talked about, all additional add-ons, which you can also get as a standalone. Then we talked about features, what benefits can you get, why should you get it, what will you be getting installing this solution in the environment. Number one, we said availability, yes, give you transparent visibility on the availability of your devices. Number two, we talked about performance metrics, knowing internal parameters on those devices apart from just the availability, where we mentioned link monitoring, we mentioned interface monitoring, we mentioned CPU utilization, the likes of that. Then we talked about bandwidth monitoring in terms of drop packets, in terms of billing aspects too, if you are billed on what you are subscribed for, where we mentioned the ISP, subscribing to the ISP for a particular value, ensuring they are meeting up, that the ISP is delivering you that particular value for environment to work fine. We also talked about managing bandwidth, regulating bandwidth on your environment, where we mentioned applications, but we also mentioned users, how you can regulate those bandwidths to those to make sure that the bandwidth are being used for more critical aspects, for more productivity aspects. Yes, we do mention on the network configuration manager. These are all standalone, again, for a quick reminder, which you can install as standalone depending on your type of architect. So going back, we mentioned on network configuration manager, the NCM, you can monitor your configurations in your particular network device. You can check if they are in compliance with its vendor. You can also check for authorized and unauthorized access. We mentioned examples about a former employee trying to connect to a device or a non-employee trying to connect to a device. You can check for what configuration is being executed on that particular device. You can compare. You can also enable a change detection, meaning once they put in a configuration, it backs up the initial one for the current one. So we talked about that. I also talked about vulnerabilities. So it will scan, like we said, to fetch vulnerabilities from your NCM, from your devices, then to provide you a third-party link where you can apply the patch to fix the vulnerability. Yes, then we talked about the firewall analysis to monitor your firewalls. You know, your firewall is a frontline defender. However, you might need to monitor your firewalls for what is being configured and make sure that you are up to date on your firewalls. Yes, we talked about that. And we talked about IP address monitoring. So these are more for some admins to know what IP addresses are available and the likes of that. So that is it. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so very much. That's all about it. We just concluded the training on the Up Manager solution, and I believe that we understand what Up Manager solution is and what it does, and how you can pitch the solution to your client. I'm really impressed with the number of people that actually turn out for this webinar. I also want you to join for tomorrow webinar that is going to come up same time tomorrow, and this is going to be Service Desk flagship solution. And Service Desk is also one of the two that every client wants to get. We have over 70% of the financial institution using this solution. So you would not want to miss this webinar. I want you to take our time to join tomorrow, 11 a.m. the same time tomorrow. We're going to have this webinar. We're going to go deep dive into Service Desk Plus, its functionalities, its uses, and also how you can be able to pitch this solution to your client. And feel free to reach out to me after this webinar should you have any further questions. Thank you very much for having this to take our time to join this this webinar. We are hopeful, and we are very, very hopeful that you're going to be a part of the webinar tomorrow. Thank you. Do have a lovely day ahead. Bye for now. I just want to give a sincere thanks to AY, technical engineer David, and also Femi Oloba and the colleagues that have put all this together. Thank you very much. Do have a lovely day ahead. Bye for now.